Queen's Voice, Peter Kefalas back with you for another segment. Thank you very much for tuning in, as always. Appreciate you guys out there. This story, unfortunately, is going to keep us in Queens, and unfortunately, it's going to be another disturbing story about minors and a bad situation in a public park. So let's get into the story, folks. So this title is going to basically be called Father Saves Daughter from a Sex Fiend. I'm going to label it as that. Now, a truly disgusting story here, guys. As I said, a father who was biking with his 11-year-old daughter rescued her from a creep who snatched her and tried to sexually assault her. Well, he actually did. The incident, which happened in Forest Park near Woodhaven Boulevard and Myrtle Avenue, cops said. Now, for those of you out there who don't know, Forest Park is a forest, if you will. It's a tremendous park which sits on both sides of Woodhaven Boulevard, goes through the Woodhaven section on one side, and on the side where it happened, which is near Victory Field, which is a big field and a track, that goes into Richmond Hill, maybe South Richmond Hill, and even loops back into the Forest Hills, Kew Gardens area. So one of the largest parks in Queens and the city. And yes, it truly is a forest, if you will. Very nice place, very large place, but unfortunately, as we know, very dangerous these days. So continuing with our story here, the daughter had pedaled ahead of her father and veered off the main path. And that's when police say Teddy Moussignac, a 44-year-old man, was lurking in the bushes near a more secluded area of the park. And this happened, like I said, near Victory Field, which is a very popular place in the park. This creep leapt out, knocking the girl off her bike, cops say, and he told the girl, quote unquote, "If you scream, I'll kill you." The sicko allegedly covered the girl's mouth while saying that to her. And with another hand, he started dragging her a little bit further. And he also said, quote unquote, "I just need help with something," end quote. Now, Moussignac, who lives in Brooklyn, allegedly punched this little girl as she struggled to get away, dragging her deeper into the woods and began fondling her. What a piece of garbage this guy is. Now, the girl's father caught up to them, luckily, and he saw the knocked over bike, and he literally saw what was happening with this sicko with his hands on his little girl, and thankfully, he was able to stop the attack. The pervert fled, but luckily, the NYPD was able to catch up with him and catch him, and this piece of garbage has been charged with kidnapping, sexual abuse of a victim under 13, criminal obstruction of breathing, and other charges. And it's just a disturbing story. I mean, you can't even take your kid out for a bike ride. I mean, the dad was right there, but I mean, this happened really quick according to the report. And the fact that this creep, this sick piece of garbage, was brazen enough to grab this girl when her dad was right there and thinking that he was going to get away with it. God knows what other intentions this piece of garbage had for that little girl besides fondling her and punching her and grabbing her into the freaking woods. I mean, this is somebody that should be executed, in my opinion. The locals in that area of the park that sits on the corner of Myrtle and Woodhaven have complained that no patrols are done in that area of the park, and they called on police to have more patrols more often due to this incident. And to be fair, there have been some other horrific incidents, like most parks, especially of that size, that have happened over the years, unfortunately. And I hate to say it, but this is it's definitely not the first incident, and unfortunately, it's definitely not going to be the last. You know, there's countless things that have happened, but this is a disgusting, disgusting person that I hope will be sent to jail for a long time and then be dealt with there, if you know what I mean. But what do we say? We keep, being told that we're safe, whether it's the subway or the streets or wherever we're at, and look at how many reports are out there, not just the ones that we've done here in Queen's Voice, but look at all the reports out there of problems in the parks across the city, whether it's people getting stuck up, homeless people going crazy, people getting robbed in a lot of parks, sexual assaults on joggers, in particular female joggers, unfortunately. Now we're having our kids, their head shaved, they're getting beat up with baseball bats, attempted abductions, they're fondling little kids, pulling them off their bikes, right almost in front of their father. I mean, thank God the father caught up that quickly, but I find it to be very disturbing that the summer's approaching, and I find it to be disturbing that we're having so many incidents of late involving young kids with other kids attacking them or adults. But worse than that is when you have a sick child molester, which is what this piece of garbage is, who puts his hands on kids and pretty much attempted to abduct this little girl off a bicycle where her father was close by. I mean, what kind of person does that? So, like I said, I personally am disgusted by these types of people. If you put your hands on a kid, to me, you're the lowest form of life out there, and whatever happens to you, you get it. Karma's a bitch, right? But I want to know, what do you guys think out there? Any of my Queens residents who live near or actually frequent Victory Field area in Forest Park, what do you guys think out there? Or anywhere else in the park, because it's a super large park and it's mostly isolated. Thus the name, Forest Park. It is a forest, after all. Most of it is anyway. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. I've personally had it up to here with all the people doing stuff with the kids. It's just, that's disgusting. You're in a league of your own, piece of garbage in your own when you put your hands on a little kid and molest them. It's just unacceptable. And if I could, I'd have the death penalty for all these monsters. Personally, I'm not afraid to say it. I wish I could enact the death penalty for these people. But let's see what happens. Hopefully this person will get a stern judge, and they won't be back out on the streets, or they'll set the bail that'll be high, and they'll get sent to jail for a long time and then dealt with there, if you know what I mean, by the population. Like and share, subscribe if you've yet to do so. Helps us out a lot, and we've been growing. It's all due to you guys, and like I always say, we cannot and would not be able to do this without you guys out there, our loyal audience. And don't think that we don't appreciate each and every one of you every day, because we really do. Peter Kefalas with Queen's Voice reporting. And as always, be safe out there. Take care of each other. And for the love of God, watch your kids in the parks, especially here in New York City, guys. I'll be back soon. Bye-bye.